Welcome to the first ever state of the Nafla. I am your host and gracious commissioner, Malo Verde. There were some things on the homepage that have been brought up that I felt that needed addressed. There seems to be some bickering back and forth between a couple managers on how things are set up, how things were set up, how things are looking to be set up, and I just wanted to clarify a few things about that. First of all, nothing will be changed during this season as far as rules, as far as keepers, as far as scoring, anything. Nothing is going to be changed. Okay, let's just get that out. When I posted those polls, I wasn't necessarily saying that these rules and these changes were going to take effect this year. I had just been pondering a couple things, a couple issues that I'd been discussing with a couple managers in the league, and I thought I'd throw it out there for discussion. So if at some point next year we wanted to make certain changes to certain things, we had some feedback to go off of. You know, we had a couple polls to where we could see how people voted in one particular direction. I have a list right here of everything everyone has said, what they like and what they don't like. That's all I was trying to do. Get some feedback so for next year when we sit down before the draft and figure out how we want to get things set up for this year, we have something to go off of. We have feedback and comments and concerns posted by managers that we can take into consideration when making the rules for next year. That is all. Alright? We shouldn't have changed anything going into this year. Although, you know, it was done at weeks 1 and 2. The bottom line is we shouldn't be making any changes, period. Regardless if it's keepers or it's scoring or whatever. It starts and we ride it out. But some changes were made in discussions with a couple managers early on in the season. I admit I agreed with a couple of them, but then there was a couple that I didn't. But the bottom line, they were changed. They shouldn't have been changed. We should have just rode out the season the way it was and then fixed it in the off season. I guess at this point we definitely learned our lesson on this aspect of the league. Number 2. Yahoo, ESPN. This seems to be one of the things. This was the one thing that personally got me going. And in my comments, the only point I was trying to make is I don't necessarily care about projections and stats and, you know, but being able to look at how this player runs on grass, how this player runs at night or during the day, or yada yada, or what is his career projections in a dome. I don't care about certain things like that. I don't care about streaming and watching Brad Evans and Brandon Funston online, or flipping on the TV and watching Matt Berry and Mr. Roto do their thing on ESPN2. I don't care about that aspect of the league. Really, I don't. Because the bottom line is you should be able to make your own projections and devise your own game plan for the week on who you want to start and who you want to sit. I'm not saying the extra help isn't, you know, a bonus, a plus. You know, you could look up certain things, you know, but the bottom line is this is for fun, all right? And ESPN allows us to have fun. I mean, come on. Who would have thought 2-3 years ago that our league would be having videos with call-in interviews, doing certain things, making our own projections, trying to be our own Brandon Funstons and Mr. Rotos. I, for one, didn't think it was possible. But ESPN has allowed us to make our league, you know, more interactive amongst managers. It gives us an identity, it gives us a face. We're not just like any other fantasy league out there. Not saying we weren't before, but now we're on a completely different level. I mean, I for one also enjoy the fact of being able to link certain stuff, you know, from different videos from NFL.com, things of that nature. I do understand individuals' aspects on Yahoo because of their familiarity with that site. I completely understand. At first last year when I came to ESPN, I was like, what's going on here? I can't find this. I can't find that. If any point someone has any questions or comments about how to navigate around the site, please send me an email. Hey, can I look for this? Where on ESPN could I find this? All right? That's quite all right. Send me an email. There were some things I didn't know, like I said, and I even called up ESPN and asked them, hey, how do I find this out? And that's the other thing that I appreciate about ESPN is I can call them up when I have a problem or question or concern about my league, and I can get them to help me right then and there. Just call them up and ask them. That to me makes it a lot easier, especially from a commissioner's standpoint, when you have to try and get everything together and make this thing work. So on that aspect, ESPN all the way. I wasn't saying that, you know, once again, we couldn't start up another league because coming into point 3, the money situation, this would allow managers to go do other aspects that they enjoy with other leagues as far as playing for money and watching Brandon Funston and Brad Evans give each other head on Yahoo Fantasy Countdown or whatever it is. Bottom line. So when I made the comment that ESPN and Nafla are here to stay, I truly did mean that. And I would hope to think that you guys enjoy every aspect of the entertainment value that I provide on this site. But like I said, nothing's stopping you from going back to the other league and doing things. I would just hope that you would stay and at least play Nafla for fun. I repeat, at least play Nafla for fun. That is all. Alright? But like I said, point number 3 on the money situation. Like I had stated when I posted the poll to Crush, you know, he had called and gave me the feedback from the Kenny boys about how they wanted to play for money, this, that, and the other thing, sweeten up the deal. And 10 people voted, excuse me, pardon, 10 people voted that they wanted to play for money as to where 6 people didn't want to. So in that regard, I'm not going to force anybody to pay money to play fantasy football. So next year there will be no money. I'm going to go ahead and say that. It will not cost anything to play fantasy football in Nafla, period. In closing, I would just like to say this. I love this league, alright? I love the managers that we're playing with. I think everybody's been doing a pretty stand-up job getting their lineups in, paying attention, being active, you know, making posts, things of that nature. I enjoy that. I by no means want to break this league apart. Alright, but realize this, ladies and gentlemen, there's 16 of us. 16 different opinions come from 16 different directions, and in no way are we going to be able to make every individual happy. Okay? So if we have to devise another system or another league to get things together so people can still have fun doing things a certain way, and these people can have fun doing things a certain way, then so be it. And the bottom line is this. It's going to come down to one person making a decision. Granted, I'm going to, like I said, take your thoughts and considerations, look at them, read over them, and devise a plan going into next year on the general consensus of how everyone feels about playing Nafla. Alright? But the bottom line is, I'm going to have to make the call, and I'm going to have to be the one to pull the trigger on what goes and what doesn't. And I understand that that's not going to make everyone happy. Like I said, 16 different people, 16 different opinions. Not everyone is going to be happy. And like I said, if we have to devise another league or something so people can play for money, people can, you know, have no keepers to do certain things and have Yahoo in all its glory or whatever, then that's something that we might just have to do. And I personally don't, like I said, I don't see what the big deal is, because the bottom line is you want to be happy, you want to have fun. And right now it's about 50-50 about these people liking this and these people liking that, you know. So bottom line is, hey, you want to play, that's great. If you don't want to play, my feelings won't be hurt. I don't think anyone's feelings will be hurt. If you want to go elsewhere and do other things, if you see fantasy football in a completely different light, that's perfectly fine. Alright? Because, you know, in all reality, those arguments and those comments on the page got a little deep. Okay? It was taken way out of context, taken way too personal, and it got serious. Alright? We don't need it to be that way. You know, obvious people aren't going to agree, and that's just something we all have to live with. Alright? But the bottom line is, I think the league is a great league, and I enjoy doing these videos, and I enjoy calling people up in the league and talking about things and making this fun and enjoyable. And I hope that next year we'll all be back and we'll iron out all the problems that we have, and we'll get this thing going, and it will be the greatest fantasy football league ever made. So, anyway, there is a game on tonight, Bears and Niners. So make sure you get your lineups in for that game. Alright, matchups, tune in Sunday morning. I'll have those videos up. I don't have a special guest. If somebody wants to be a special guest, send me an email, I'll get you on. But anywho, I'm signing off. This has been State of the Nafla. I am the commish, your host, Mario Verity, saying peace out, Girl Scout.